you turn it on? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you guys to Veterans Growing America, where we have the lovely Queenie interviewing Mr. Brian Hooks. I'm gonna have her introduce him, but I just want to welcome you guys to BGA. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Queenie, for doing this tonight.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. This is an easy job. I get a chance to chat it up with someone that I'm familiar with on screen. Actually get a chance to meet him. So, Veterans Growing America, I am absolutely honored to be here to chat it up with Mr. Brian Hooks. He is an actor, comedian, producer, and director, and so much more. So, Brian, welcome to Veterans for America.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we're going to dive into this, and for the audience, you will have an opportunity to ask your questions if some shall arise. But Brian,
Yes.
you are here on tour in the DMV.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys having me and being able to be here to chop it up with you. And so, yeah, I've been putting off on the road and doing this for some time because I'm an independent filmmaker and I'm always busy with that. And so this year, on purpose, time was set aside for me to go on tour, hit the road, and you know, and tell some jokes.
I love it. So I have to ask, because I know this is at the top of your tour,
hmm
how long is this tour going to last across
It
America?
it'll go probably through the top of next year. Yeah.
That's a
So
long time.
yeah, we got in July we'll be in the UK.
Mhm.
And so it's gonna stretch across the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So wherever you are watching us from, you can catch Mr. Hooks on his tour.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be in your city, wherever you at.
All right. So we're gonna get on into these questions. We were chatting earlier, and I was
Uh-huh.
going over the movies that I'm familiar.
Yeah.
And I got a little shy when I said one of them. But I know you from of course, many of us we cannot look at you and not think of Eve, the sitcom.
Uh-huh.
And then of course, Nothing to Lose.
Yeah.
There's the one that was with Coolio, I think it was. I don't
Fat
remember.
Beach.
Fat Beach.
Yep.
And then there was Soul Plane.
Soul Plane. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, how many people here watch Soul Plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't no stunt double either. That was me in there. Yeah, hey, that was yeah.
So my son reminded me when I said it, and I'm looking at him thinking, how did you watch Soul Plane?
Yeah,
But
see, we need to talk to
I
child
know,
services.
I
He's
know,
too
I
young
know,
to
I
be
know.
watching
They
that.
should have been watching. Yeah,
Call
should have been
child
too young.
services on you.
You're right. But we loved Soul Plane. It was
Uh-huh.
super funny. We enjoyed it. So, what has all of this been like for you? I mean, you have we're here at Veterans Growing America,
Mhm.
but you're like a veteran of the screen. So,
Mhm.
what has that been like for you this entire journey?
It's been an amazing journey. It truly has. I was born and raised in Bakersfield, California. It's a small little country town in the middle of California. And it just wasn't even an option to do some of the things that I've been able to do from that town. But I went to school from Bakersfield after I graduated at Cal State Northridge.
Mhm.
And from there, I started to run around trying to get my feet wet. And I ended up getting that movie, Fat Beach, with
Yeah.
Coolio, Jermaine Huggy Hopkins, excuse me. And that was my first film. It was a starring film. I auditioned like 7 times for it.
Wow.
And finally I got the part. And so that sort of started the ball rolling. I was still in school. And the deal with my parents was, as long as you're working,
Yeah.
you can continue to do it. When you finish, you go back to school. And I've been blessed to continuously be working and working and working and working. So, but to be able to, there's so many talented people in the world to be able to, me to be chosen
Mhm.
to be able to see and do and take place in some of the things that I have has truly been a blessing. And, I'm forever grateful.
Yeah.
Um, just to be able to, be a part of what I have, and we get caught up, focused on goals
Mhm.
and moving and pushing, but I always pause and give thanks to God for everything I have been able to experience to this point. So it's it's unexplainable, but it is a blessing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is great. So kudos to you.
Thank you,
Congratulations on
thank you,
all of the things that you've done.
thank you.
So when you were younger, I know we're going to just have kind of a casual
Mhm. Yeah.
conversation, but when you were younger, like who did you look up to, or how did you even know you wanted to be in this field? And if you did know, who did you look up
I
to?
think I thought I was going to be playing baseball.
Oh,
I was into sports. I thought I was going to be playing baseball. And like I said, from Bakersfield, being an actor and all that
mhm,
stuff, it wasn't really an option.
mhm.
So from there, I was a huge and living color fan. So, Damon Wayans, Jim
Yeah.
Carrey, those cats were like everything to me.
Mhm.
And then of course on TV watching sneaking and watching Eddie Murphy movies
Mhm.
and and things like that, Richard Pryor. But I think, my that in living color really and the comedic abilities of those guys really, really, really resonated with
Mhm.
me, and so, now I haven't worked with, either of those guys,
Mhm.
but have been able to meet them and, it's just it's been a dream come true.
Yeah, well, we need to get that work done, all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So when you were in school, were you into the arts or
Mm.
at all? Like, were you in any plays? Like one time I
In
was
the
a tree.
in
So
church, in church, I did some plays and,
yeah.
I was always, make doing being clowning around in class and stuff like that, but I wasn't in the arts. And,
Wow.
again, I was deep in sports, football,
Mhm.
basketball, baseball, track, and but it wasn't there was, but excuse me. There wasn't a lot of formal um, places to
Sure.
explore theater like
Mhm.
that. You know what I mean? But I was such a clown. When I went out to college, they did have
Yeah.
a form for that, and then once I got in college, um, after my math classes, because I was majoring in math to be a teacher and things like that, I would keep an acting class.
Mhm.
So it would be my core classes, and then I add an acting class, and I do that every semester. And I also started running around outside of school as well. And they had this little magazine called the Drama Log,
Mhm.
and it's where they listed productions, independent productions, some studio things, student films, and I submitted myself for Fat Beach.
Mhm.
They called me, and like I say, 7 auditions later, I got the
Wow.
part, and that sort of started the ball rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look at that. That's great. And it's so
yeah,
inspiring. So,
yeah.
um, I know our conversation will be a little bit short, but I want to, because you just mentioned that, what would you say to someone that's aspiring to get into acting and they don't know how, what, where?
Mhm.
What would you say to that person?
I would first say, take a class, find a class. In every city, there should be a class that you
Mhm.
could take. You don't need to break the bank. If someone's asking for a crazy amount of money, it's not worth it. You're not there yet. And it just there should be a place to where you can exercise your acting skills. It does not matter if the teacher, you know, was in King Kong one,
Yeah.
2, 3, and 4. You just need somewhere you can exercise formally, because when you do cross paths and get that opportunity, that's something that they're going to look at and know, like, okay, this person is serious.
Mhm.
So I would say that's the first thing to do. Other than that, it's a very independent time. I started doing independent films in a time that wasn't popular, wasn't common, maybe wasn't cool, but that has built the foundation for me to do what I want, when I want, how I want. It was a true blessing. And now we're in such an independent time. I would say, um, look to create your own way.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? If you don't write, find someone who does.
Mhm.
There's so many people who want to write, so many people who want to direct, so many people who want to produce, so
Mhm.
many people who want to do camera. So if you don't want to do those things, you could still find someone, a group of people who does, and go out and figure out a way to make content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of content, I saw your TikTok and Instagram
Oh
where
yeah.
the girlfriend was tired of hearing your
Oh yeah,
conspiracy
yeah.
theories. and
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah.
that is so me.
Yeah.
So that is a really
Yeah.
good one. I love that.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so we've talked a bit about your roles on screen,
Mhm.
but now you are doing stand-up, and I don't know how long you've been in stand-up, so I would love to for you to
Mhm.
share how long you've been doing stand-up and what has that been like?
Yeah, stand up is great. I think it's the most difficult form of entertainment.
Mhm.
I did not start off in stand up. I started off and I did a bunch of comedic acting from Three Strikes to Fat Beach to Soul Plane and all those films. And people thought that I did stand up, but I hadn't. I actually been doing it about, I think it's about a little over 10 years now. Um, but you know, before I had never touched the stage, and I never wanted to disrespect the art
Mm,
because I knew enough comics to know that there's a process and there's an art to it.
yeah.
And so I took a class actually with my brother always laughs like, taking a stand-up comedy class. He couldn't stop laughing at the fact. It just sounds so crazy. But David Arnold, the late David Arnold, he passed away, was a great stand-up comedy teacher. And through him, I figured out what you're supposed to be doing on the
Mm,
stage. You know what I mean? It's not no, you just go up there, you do anything and everything in hopes that someone laugh. It's more structured
mhm,
and balanced than that. And so I didn't want to disrespect the art. I took his class. I figured out what I was supposed to be doing, and I started to get out and get my feet wet. And so it's been a minute, and I've been, grinding when I can, when I'm not making films, getting out there and getting my feet wet, building, getting stronger, learning, and then it's been a great journey. But I
yeah.
did not start off as a stand-up comic, but I absolutely love it. Again, it's the most difficult form of entertainment with um, films, you can, cut,
Mhm.
something doesn't work, you try it again, you reset, with end up, it's not working.
And it's just
Your
not
ass is
working.
okay. It's gonna be a long night. Yeah.
It'd be
So
like the longest 8 minutes
yeah,
ever.
yeah. So it's a challenge, but it's a great challenge, and so I'm loving it.
Yeah, that is good. So
Mhm.
take us back to that very first stand up that you
Mhm.
did, right? You are vulnerable and
Yeah,
you're almost naked,
yeah,
right? When you're
yeah,
standing
yeah,
up there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what was that experience like
It
for
was
you?
horrible. It was horrible.
Good.
And mind you, I come from, the Eve show and did
Yeah,
all these films, but again, stand up is a different animal.
yeah.
And so one of the first, homework, whatever, we had to do for the class is you need to go to an open mic and do, I don't know if it was 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes,
Mhm.
but it felt like 5 hours. And when I tell you those were the brightest,
Yeah,
hottest lights,
yeah,
mind you, they were normal lights,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it felt like a spotlight was right in my face, up my nose,
yeah.
and it felt like it was 3 hours.
Mhm,
It's probably more like 3 minutes,
mhm.
and it was just terrifying
Yeah,
because it's just a different type of
yeah,
animal. But it says a little bit about yourself. You're a little crazy. You just keep going up and up and up and up, and you grow and you learn. And again, I love
yeah.
it. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. I said
it's
that
great.
earlier when they were getting the cameras. I was
Yeah,
like, no pressure.
yeah,
They're just all sitting watching us.
yeah, yeah.
So, what do you, I mean, between the two,
Mhm,
what is your passion like between the two, you in the space of behind the camera or on the other end of the camera, but you're also a director,
mhm,
producer.
mhm.
So, what is that thing that you love more than anything, if you have one?
Well, I just started OnlyFans, so
I
no, I'm
love
just
that for you.
He's like, "I thought I saw him. He got a whole feet
Are you
page."
producing or
Right, right.
directing?
I love it all.
Yeah.
I said, when I started my journey, a buddy of mine, he was in film school and I was studying to be math and and then I would keep my acting class. And I think the movie Fat Beach had came out and he was like, let's do a movie. And So he had raised like, I don't know, like $11,000. And then, I put in like two or three and we had like, 13, $15,000 to make this film. And um, the film was called Q. And when we finished, it was, 90 minutes, but it was horrible.
Okay.
But it was funny and it was coming on the heels of Fat Beach. We put the movie out. Xenon picked it up, and that 12, $13,000 film went on to make $800,000.
Wow.
And so through that, we figured out a little niche to where we could sort of control our own destiny through making these smaller independent films. And so that sort of turned into my foundation to where I made all these smaller independent films that made a ton of money. And then at some point, I was feeling like, why I got to do all this work, God? You know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything right. Why? And so, why I got to wear 12 hats? You know what I'm saying? That man standing over there in baby oil, and he's just having a, he's just having a really easy path. So it seems, why am I already, I didn't get into baby oil. So why are you making me do all this work? And so, but what, yeah, but what had happened?
He's envisioning the baby oil.
What had happened was I was learning how to make a film with my eyes closed. So now I'm in a unique position to where I know how to make a film, by myself if I have to. And it's a time now, it's, like I was saying, it's such an independent time, and artists are starving because there are fewer and fewer roles, and it's a small pool that they grab from. And so, God had given me ability. He was giving me jewels. I didn't know it. It's like giving, diamonds to a baby, to where I was, learning all these things, and to where I can sustain myself independent of what they were doing. So I was no longer at the mercy of them calling me. I was able to go and make a film that a niche audience enjoy, make money, and create a foundation doing that. And so it's been a true blessing. And I say to your question, I love independent filmmaking. And I think if 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 I had to choose, it would be that, because I just love the whole process. And but I don't have to choose, and I get to do make films and do stand up, because again, I have this independent foundation around me, to where I make the film I want to make. I pause, I come out, I do stand up tour. I made a film called Laughing to the Bank. It was really funny. I put my brother and my best friend and my cousin in it. You know what I mean? We made a funny film. So, and I always tell the people, I shot Fool's Gold with Kevin Hart, Matthew McConaughey, Kate Hudson, in Australia for 9 months, and it was an amazing time. But I can honestly say, my little romantic comedy that I did at the time for $150,000 for me was more gratifying, because it was a few people who were good at what they do. They were there because they believed in me, or they loved me, or they loved what they do. We put this film out, people loved the film, and that for me is what makes me go, and that's what gets me excited. So, that's my foundation, and that's what I do. And then I'll step over and I'll do the independent films, and the studio films, and it's great. But I'm not waiting on anyone, because you'll be waiting forever for them to come. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to be in this. They're like, okay, go walk through that baby oil. And then, so, as you got to walk through the baby
like
oil
a
to get
slippery
it.
slope.
It's a very slippery slope. Yeah, you trying to get out of there with baby oil all over your body and on your feet and some steel, and you just be,
Oh my goodness. Okay, so getting off that baby oil right now.
A lot of people couldn't get off the baby oil. A lot of people they couldn't get off the baby oil. They stood from the baby oil onto the to the files.
You're right.
Right into the eye. Slip and slide.
Oh my
Couldn't
goodness.
get out that baby oil.
I do want to ask this question because I know a lot of young people look up to you and individuals that are in the arts. Um, when you first got started in this industry, were you working a regular job as well, or did you dive right in? Entrepreneurship, arts,
Hmm.
acting, anything in the arts and all, any type of independence can be very challenging. So, did you have both going on in your life? I know you started as a young
Hmm.
man. So, how did you
I
navigate that?
I was actually in school.
Okay.
I mean, so at the time when I started auditioning, you know, there wasn't this pressure to, I got a
Yeah.
book because I had homework anyway, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course.
So I had,
You had a real
yeah,
book.
I had test on Friday.
Yeah.
And so um, I was sort of naive to how difficult an industry it was, honestly. So sort of, accidentally on purpose, I was very very lucky in that sense because
Hmm.
I was always busy with school, and it wasn't when I got that beach and from there started making a little money, then I could comfortably pause
Hmm.
school and navigate and work that out. So I didn't have to
Hmm.
work while I was pursuing it, but I was, in school
Sure.
doing that work. Um, but I will say you absolutely have to find the balance.
Hmm.
That's why you see, you always hear like, "Oh, I'm waiting tables," as an actress or an actor because it's a flexible schedule
Sure. Yeah.
that'll allow you to do that. But you have to sort of figure it out and find the balance. But I think again to counter that, you have to create this independent foundation to where you sort of, create your
Hmm.
own lane and your own content, and it's never been more popular and okay than it is now.
Yeah.
So even with social media, my good friend Tabitha Brown has completely shot to the moon
Yeah.
and changed her lives and the lives around her through social media,
Hmm.
Facebook. And so it has launched her into, who she
Yeah.
is. So I say that to say, and she'll tell you the same thing. There's nothing different about her,
Hmm.
than all of you out there trying to do your thing. And if you commit to it,
Hmm.
that could take the place of you having to wait tables until you get to where you want. And now, even with the verticals and things like that, it's an incredible opportunity to sustain yourself and make money, but you have to approach it, as work. You know what I mean? But if you're consistent with that, it rewards consistency. So it's not even about how talented you are
Yeah.
or how talented your content are, but are you showing up and being your authentic self,
Yeah.
doing what you love or what you're great at, and it'll reward you, um, if you're consistent with it.
Yeah.
So there's ways to sustain while you're, pushing to be and go where you want to go.
All right. So listen, now we have talked about the beginning, your why, know where you're from,
Hmm.
into acting and comedy. I want to talk a little bit about the fun.
Hmm.
Um, you are in town
Hmm.
because you are on tour.
Yeah.
So obviously tonight you're not performing. You just got off
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
plane.
Yeah.
But tomorrow night,
Hmm.
tell us a little bit about tomorrow night. I have the flyer here. You're going to be over at El Ranch.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. Like,
Well,
what can we expect when
I'm
all of us come out?
I'm showing up.
Okay.
Uh, Douse myself in baby oil. That's right. No, just fun. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's I like to tell about me, my story.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Most of my comedy is, about things that I experienced, my point of view
Mhm.
on things, and it's just a good time. And there's some other amazing
Yeah.
um comics on the bill as well that's gonna be here doing their thing. So we're gonna have some fun. We're doing it in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't have to take up your whole day, you know what I mean? If you going out too late, too much for you, you can still get home at a decent time, watch the shows, get out the cold. So we're gonna have a really good time.
You know your demographic, right? Cause you know we be. Listen, by the time 6, 7, or 8 o'clock
Yeah,
roll around, we
yeah.
in the bed, we in the house.
Yeah.
So this is not. This
Yeah.
is going to be doors open at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Starts at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
You did mention there are others: Howard G,
Yeah.
Carter Connection,
Yeah.
Marie Sanchez,
Yeah.
Las Vegas, and of course you are the headliner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the tickets are still on sale now. I
Mhm.
think I see brown eyes back there. We still have tickets for that event. I want to throw the mic out to the audience to see if there are any questions. for
Let's
you.
do it.
All right, there we go.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so here, the members of EPA are all creative people.
Uh-huh.
What advice can you give us when we find ourselves in that
I think you got to work through it because it's not real. You know what I mean? You know, your work is great creatively and it continues to be great. And when you hit a stomp, you just have to keep creating through it because I think it's our emotions that go down a bit. The work is still great, it's always great, and it'll come back up. And that's something we're going to do and deal with, and it's going to come. But you have to just put yourself in a mindset to know I'm feeling like this right now, but I just have to keep creating through it. You know what I mean? And it'll come back up. It'll come back up. Yeah, because you know, all artists deal with that. I deal with that a lot too. I get, you know, exhausted or mentally or physically or whatever it may be. And you get, you know, in these spaces and you just got to keep going and keep creating through it.
In my field of work, we call it burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, who else do we have? Any other questions? Yes, okay. Your favorite.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's your favorite.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What did you do to your neighbor that was messing with you?
Was it the car?
Yeah,
The new muffler.
yeah,
You revving up the window?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I didn't do nothing to him. I was surprised as you are. I was like, wait, you see, I was just trying to eat, snacking, and I'm trying to see what the hell is going on. What's
racist
this
neighbor.
car saying? Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yolanda Marie Tate, and I have 2 questions
Okay.
for you, Brian. The first one is, how do you prepare yourself before you go on stage?
Mhm.
We know that mental health is something that's really important, and I'm gonna be honest. You know, we struggle with a lot, especially as Black people and everything else. So I just want to ask you, how do you prepare yourself? And then the next question after that is, when it comes to acting and stand-up, what prepares you the most when it comes to timing?
Mm.
We know that with comedians, that timing
Yeah.
is everything.
Yeah.
But being an actor is timing involved with that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what was the first one?
Mental
Yes.
health.
Okay. Yeah. I think with stand up is just you have to know your material, and even if you feel in some type of way, you know what I mean. Each audience is different. You know, if you're truly ready, you should have some kind of nerves, just like an athlete that's about to step into the game. If you don't have any sort of anything bubble inside of you, you're probably not ready. You know what I mean? And so, but I think what overcomes everything is just knowing your material and being prepared. And if you were prepared, that will push you past and over anything that you may be feeling and get you into the position, even if you feel like you're not quite
Yeah.
ready to go. If you know your material and if you rehearsed and ready, you'll be good. So that preparation is everything. And then on the second, what was the second?
The second one was
Timing.
Oh yeah. So with the time, you know, here's the thing. It was a gift from God because with my acting, everybody's like, "You got great time and you should do stand up." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And I didn't know what the hell it was. I didn't know what they was talking. And all these people I was working with, I did high school high, with the Zucker brothers, and he's like, "Oh, you know, your timing, you have a great time," and I was like, "Yeah," and I didn't know what the hell it was. I was like, "Okay, but I'll just keep doing what I'm doing." And and as I grew and as I got older and as I started to explore the stand up, I sort of understood like, "Oh yeah, okay, I get it." But I was just a natural fool at first, and so and so I rode that natural ignorance on into really understanding what time it was. But I just have to say, it was just the timing was just a gift. It was truly a gift because I look back at some of the stuff I did and I think it's really funny. Some of the stuff on, Fat Beach and High School High and, Fool's Gold and the Eve show. And it is funny and it is great timing. But at the time, I was like, yo, this is just, you know what I mean? So it was just God, you know what I mean? He got great timing.
Mhm.
Sometimes it take a little too long, but I ain't
Yeah.
saying that. I ain't saying that.
Work
No,
on that a little bit.
but yeah, it was just a gift. And then once I figured out and knew and learned what it was just already there in pocket. But yeah, some people are, I think some comics who do stand up and it's like, yo, he's a writer and they're great writers, but they don't have great timing.
Mm.
And so for some reason, it's like, it's funny, but you know what I mean? Like they're not your favorite. You know what I mean? Because they're missing that. But they're great writers and they go on to write for shows and sitcoms and things like that. But you got to have that time and you have to have that punch. And it was just for me, it was a gift. Yeah.
So speaking of timing, if you could go back to your 18 or 19-year-old self,
hmm
what would you tell your younger self, or how would you position yourself to expedite where you are now? And how would you recover from those movements? Learn.
Yeah. I think again, I think, with my independent path, it's given me so much. And there's a studio side and then there's independent filming. And I was doing it at a time to where no one was doing it. And it made a lot of money, but for some reason, it was always people like, yo, you need to focus on the studio and you need to do this and you need and I would stop my progress and dedicate time to pursuing this, studio or the this and the that. And then I get back into my thing and then I would get pulled back because people, felt that you should be doing this. So I would tell my younger self to never stop um, running down the independent path because I think, what God allowed me, like, yo, I gave you everything you need to do exactly what you want to do. You want to make films, you want to act in films, you want to make money from them. I've given you all that. Why are you over here pitching these people, you know what I mean, who aren't for you, you know? And so I think when I was younger, I just thought, well, I gotta do that because they're saying that's the way you're supposed to go, but it's not. I've had everything that I've needed, and it makes no sense. And I think I said the other day, if you are able to make money doing what you love, why are you stepping outside the lane and the box of that to try to do something else? That it makes no sense at all. And I think I lost a lot of time when I would pause and do that because, as you're hearing now, making fun of it, but a lot of this industry, there are cliques that, you know, the morals and beliefs are somewhere else. And I was never willing to sacrifice my morals or beliefs for anything. You know what I mean? And so with that, it's a longer path, which I've been okay with. You know what I mean? And so when the idea is if you're not doing studio films and your face is not on a billboard here and there, then somehow you're not as such and such, you know, but the reality is there are gatekeepers for you to get to that level. And oftentimes it requires you to give a part of yourself that you shouldn't. It requires you to do something that you wouldn't want your kids to ever know. And I think that's why now, you know, or in the past before you heard about everything, and now you see these, you know, they played all the big movies, A-list actor, and they what? They killed themselves. It seemed like they had the perfect life. Or you hear about them, you know, drugged out in rehab. You know what I mean? And it's because most time it's because where they're at, what they've had to do to get to where they're at makes it very difficult for them to look in the mirror. You know what I mean? So you can hide it from us, but you can't play hide go seek with yourself. You know where you at. And so when you have to look in the mirror and we like, yo, those movies are crazy. You got all the such and such. You selling out such and such. But when he look in the mirror and realize what he did or what he did to get there, you know what I mean? It's rough. You know what I mean? And a lot of that stirs in them. It stirs in them. And so they drinking and they smoking and they sniffing and they sewing and so forth. And then finally they just want to quit. You know, and I think God kept me from all that because, you know, it's just a number of times, like I said, well, let me focus over here and there, but that was never for me. What's for me was for me. And it's, you know, and that's why I tell people you have to define what success is to you, or else they'll define it for you. You know what I mean? I want this, this, and this. If I can have this, that's where I want to be. That's great. Or else if you don't define it specifically, how do you know when you're there? You know what I mean? How you know you'll miss your exit? You know what I mean? Like, and so that's been my thing, and that's what I tell my younger stuff. So is you on the right path, stay doing what you're doing, and it's just a beautiful space to be in, to where I can do what I want, when I want, how I want. You know what I mean? My kids don't hear about no craziness that their daddy ever done. Nobody could say to my face that I've ever shitted on them or did anything, whatever, you know what I mean? And then again, I can make a movie and put my brother and my cousin and my, you know what I mean? And for me, that's everything. Yeah.
Have your kids watch Soul Plane?
I I don't think so. I don't know.
They don't know what that means.
I don't know. You know, I don't know. They, you know,
The movie in its entirety.
I don't know if they have.
All right, next question. We have time for maybe 2 more questions.
Okay.
Well, my question is, what was the thing that impacted you the most from a mentor? Somebody either in the industry or somebody along your path that gave you some words of encouragement that just kind of changed your direction, your trajectory?
Mhm. You know, honestly, and not to be whatever, but it was my daddy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, I met a lot of cool people. You know, I was a fan. You know, I was on the Eve show. It was just really cool, you know, meeting these people. And I think sometimes actors and you know they try to be so cool. You know what I mean? Like with all the extra stuff. And like I was always knew it was a blessing, and I was a fan. You know, I was working doing my thing, but I was a fan. But I don't think that I got anything that um, that really moved me forward than what I got from my dad, you know, and he's just, you know, this is somebody who worked, you know, construction all our lives, up when we was asleep, came home when the sun came down, showered, got up, took us to baseball practice, and took the other one to football practice, coached the other team. And at the time, it was just what it was. You know what I mean? I thought we was rich. We wasn't rich. It's because they made sure that everything was good. And so, as an adult, when I look back, I'm like, damn, and I asked him, how'd you do all that shit? Like, how do you do it, And he just did it, but he he always kept me grounded, and he always just gave me um, raw advice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can, when you move it into Hollywood, you can get caught up with this and what such and such get and so on and that, and Pop's like, no, that's a lot of money.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, well, they said it's supposed to be, and they get like, no, but that's a lot of money, right? In the real world, that's a lot of money. And so it was that grounding, that foundation that really pushed me forward, and it really made me avoid and stay out of some rooms and always understand that it was a blessing, because you run into a lot of entertainers, and they're very full of themselves, and it just makes no sense. Like, it's just hard work and being black. You know what I mean? And then some people, it's hard work and baby oil. But, you know what I mean? But there's you know there's nothing special about you. You blessed, and they confuse being blessed with being special. You know what I mean? We all special, and so I always walk in a room like that. You judge people by how they treat who they deem to be the most, the least important person in the room, and they show you who they are. And so for that, I was never in those cliques. So I was never really around people with, what I mean, who said anything meaningful to say. It just all I think that every choice that I made, it just really boiled down to, my pops, who, just incredible foundation of common sense, good sense, and and hard work. I will say, I had the pleasure of meeting Michael Jackson at his house before. That's probably the biggest deal in this whole ordeal
Like at the ranch?
at the ranch. Yeah, yeah. It was no, I did.
I would have fanned all the
Yeah,
way out.
yeah. No, it was crazy.
Yeah,
It
it
was
would have been
crazy.
just weird.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
was crazy.
did you make it weird?
I think it was surreal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was surreal. 'Cause this is Michael
Yeah,
Jackson.
of course.
He
Yeah.
showed up and people fainted. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? All over the world.
Yeah, I would have.
So we were at the house, and it was a nephew. I think it was one of I forget which one of the brothers was having
Jermaine, he has all the
Jermaine.
children.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was Jermaine's son, and it was Steve, who's my publicist at the time, was friends with the Jackson family. He's like, hey, you want to come up? So it's like 8 of us. It was like 6 kids, um, and then we were just chilling, walked around, and then we were sitting at the basketball courts they were playing, and then Michael just started walking across the lawn. I was like, oh shit, here he comes.
Oh my.
So you trying to act cool, and it's Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, so it was crazy. And
Did you hug him?
he came, we shook hands. He
Yeah.
came, he was just, and the thing, Michael, he was just a real regular nigga.
Yeah.
And I don't say nigga on accident.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he
yeah.
just was like, he was just a nigga. Like, I was like, oh, this nigga is a nigga. And
That is surprising.
I'm serious. He sat down. It's hot out here. You know, if I borrow your hat? And he borrowed my hat. I was like, you even have my drawers on. And so he took my hat, put my hat on, and then he just started talking. He was giving me some advice, and he was just saying, it's just some people you don't trust.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even repeat it. I wouldn't on camera, but he just went in.
Yeah.
And it was just it was just an out of body experience, and it is still, every time I think of it, it's crazy. And he walked off, left, and took my hat.
You didn't get it
And
back?
I never got the hat, but the hat was worth more with Michael
Oh,
than it
yeah.
ever been with me. So, and I could tell the story that
Yeah.
he kept the hat was more than getting it back. And every time I see him run into Jermaine's kids, oh, my uncle never gave back your hat, did he? And I was like, nah, keep the hat. And I seen, he was the youngest. I seen one of Jermaine's kids who was there with us recently.
Mhm.
Not recently, it was maybe a couple of years ago, and he always saying, my uncle never gave your hat back. Did he?" No, that's his hat.
Oh,
So that was
that's
a
a really
dope
good
experience,
story.
and he gave me some words,
Mhm.
that I can't repeat, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's a really, really good story. And
Mhm.
since you mentioned advice, what is some of the best advice you ever received, let's say from your father?
Um, some of the best advice from Pop. It's been so much, but he's just been a hard worker, and he's always, you know, been about the work and family. And I think with him, just his and it's there's never ending advice to just to handle your business and treat people how you want to be treated,
Mhm.
and so I think that's what he instilled in us, and that's what he taught us over and over. He's just an amazing person. He's I lost my mom in August. She was they did 50 something years together.
Wow.
So now he dealing
Yeah.
with being in the house by
Yeah.
herself since, August, and but you know, we figuring out it's the new normal.
Yeah.
At first it was like, oh, how do you get back to normal after that? You don't.
Yeah.
You get a new normal.
Mhm.
You can have your mom spiritually, mentally, emotionally, but it's a new normal. Normal as you knew it is gone. But they did good. Mom was crazy. She's the type of person. If you fail, she gonna laugh.
Oh.
Don't matter how old you were, nothing. Like mama, that lady too old for you to be laughing. She couldn't help it. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. I think that is one more question. Oh, we got one more question.
Yes,
Okay.
I got another question to ask you. So this question, you are in Veterans Growing America,
Uh-huh.
which is a marketplace for veteran entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have product-based entrepreneurs and service-based entrepreneurs as part of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Now, comedy is a business.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that people most misunderstand about the business side of comedy?
I think I think just that it's very business orientated. My dad's a veteran. He was in Vietnam.
Shout out, Dad.
Um, so he was over there in the thick of it, Ho Chi Minh Trail and all that, all that. My mom's so crazy. She say, just one day, Rand, your daddy shot people. It's like, why you sure? Mama, we had sizzler. Why you man? Like, why you? And clearly he ain't want to ever say that to you. Your daddy shot some people. Just kept eating. Okay, mom. But it's the business. It's super important, and I think that's what a lot of artists struggle with, and even business creators. Like I want to make shirts, and so you go make a bunch of shirts that you like, but that's not necessarily what people like. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find that medium. It can it could be your taste, but you sort of have to do the business of knowing what's being sought out there, what people want. And I think it's the same with entertainment and with what I do. You have to kind of know what people want, and you have to have a whole foundation of nuts and bolts outside of just the movie. There's so many layers that goes into the business. You got to be able to sit. I finance my own films, and often I co-finance with other people who want to be involved. And so you have to be able to articulate, um, how that works. You know what I mean? When I give you $1, what happens? What are we making? Who's involved? Where it's going to go after that? What do we stand to make? What's the worst case scenario? What's the base? So, the business is everything, because you be like, yeah, make a movie with me. And you're like, yeah, where we gonna put it? Oh man, we ain't gonna worry about that. Like, oh nigga, give me my $1 back. You know what I mean? So you have to understand the business to make it make sense. So I think, without the business, you don't really have nothing. You're not gonna have a T-shirt. You're not gonna have a show.
Yeah.
You're certainly not gonna have a film. So yeah.
I love how you went right into character.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Sure.
Hmm.
Oh, absolutely. This is the
we
lady of the
obviously
house.
know that you have time. You're very funny.
Mm.
Everything comes out of your mouth. When you want it to be funny, it's funny. When you not- when you don't want it to be funny, it's probably funny too. Who do you think is funny? Who's
Oh,
funny to you?
Gabrielle Glaces, who's Fluffy,
Yes.
Mexican, he's hilarious.
mhm.
He is hilarious. I'm a Chris Rock fan, stand
Yeah,
up,
for sure.
for his stand up. And I can enjoy a lot of people, but I would say Fluffy, Chris Rock, the greats, Richard and Eddie, that goes without saying. Um, who else do I really, really, um, there's a couple people that I really like. They stole my
Don't get in
jokes.
trouble.
Took the jokes. Yeah, sort of
Don't get
made
in
me
trouble.
mad at them and all their friends too.
Mhm.
Kind of, I guess I feel like they should have said something. So,
At least gave you credit.
yeah, something. But yeah. But who else do I enjoy? Yeah, I like Kevin too. I like
Alright.
Kevin. Yeah. A lot of people are like, Kevin ain't funny. Some big stadiums. To feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we were giving out
for
free
sure.
tickets. We couldn't fill that stadium. So, you know what I mean? But I do enjoy. Some I like better than others, but I do enjoy. But Fluffy, I think Fluffy's at the top of my list. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And the dude, what's his name? Sebastian, this white dude. He's hilarious.
Mhm.
What is his name? Something Sebastian. Anyway, yeah. So that's who I enjoy. Mhm.
Okay, I think your favorite has
Yeah.
one more.
Yeah.
One more from your favorite.
Uh-huh.
It's not a question. I just want to say on behalf of BBA, and especially myself, thank you for gracing us with your presence, your advice, your inspiration. We've taken it in. We've just enjoyed you, and I just want to say
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys having me here. This is really cool that you guys have here. Thank you.
All right, I see some high noon humor producers and promoters back there. So hi everyone. They're all in the back.
Yeah.
Shout out, shout out. So again, this has been, I second what she just said. This has been an amazing time. It's been a lot of fun. Donnell, is there anything else before we begin to close this out? I know that Brian is going to be preparing for his show tomorrow over at El Rancho, right there on Route 1. So if you guys are in the area, go and get your ticket. I know y'all probably can't see this, but go get your tickets and support. He came all the way from the West Coast, so we do not want you to, be
Yeah.
disappointed. So
Yeah.
we're gonna try to pack the house out for
No,
you.
yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, we'll have
we're
some
gonna have some fun. Yeah.
So Donnell, before we close out, do you have anything for us, man of the house?
No, I want to thank you. So this is my homeboy right here. We grew up. We actually didn't grow up together, but I just want to say that. But I just want to thank, first of all, High Noon. Thank y'all for making Veterans Growing America the space that you brought Brian in here. And thank you also, Queenie, and everybody that showed up tonight. This is about building community. This is about having a great time, and laughter is one of those things that I love the most. The reason I wanted to be a comedian, but I wasn't funny. I was only funny to my wife. Everybody else didn't think I was funny. So any opportunity that I have to connect with comedy in any way, I love it. And so thank you guys for doing that. And thank you for being here tonight. When he rolled up outside, I was like, who is that guy trying to case the place? And then I saw him. I was like, that's Brian outside my store. And so it is an honor and a blessing. And I got a Veterans Growing America shirt for you. So you can wear it with pride.
Yes,
For
absolutely.
your dad.
Yes.
I'm so glad that you said that your dad inspired you. That means a lot to me.
It's true. It's true.
Being a dad myself, my son is in training right now. He's becoming a soldier. He just sent me a video standing out in front of a formation. That's my wife right there. Just give my wife a round of applause. But he sent us a video. I just saw it on my phone. But it's amazing that you said your dad. You know, I try to. I'm living through my son right now, and I want him to be everything that he wants to be. And for you to give that love to your dad means everything. And so I heard you say a couple of things. I heard you say, invest in yourself, continue to move forward, do stuff that you love to do, that God puts you in on the path of, and then have fun at the same time. And then don't invest your money with somebody that don't know what they're gonna do with it.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you forgot one. Stay away from the baby oil.
Yeah. The most important one. Stay away from the baby
That
oil.
baby oil, we can't stay away from the baby oil. But I do want you guys to get tickets for tomorrow's comedy show. If y'all enjoy tonight, you're really gonna enjoy tomorrow. And I believe we have a comedian in the back as well. What's your name, sir? Las Vegas.
Oh,
You know he's gonna bring the phone.
Yeah,
He's on the flyer.
You know he's gonna bring the phone. So we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow as well, sir. Yes.
Next time we do the show right here, man.
Let's do it.
We put up a stage and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. We've done comedy shows before.
Brown is like, no, y'all pushing it.
We can do
we're
the
gonna do
after
the
hours after here.
we're gonna do the next one right here, man.
After party, I like that. Or the next one.
So we're gonna close it out here. Yes, sir. Howard G, Kiss My Bumper. Kiss My Bumper.
Yeah, it's on the flyer, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we got Howard G, we got Carter Connection, we have Maria Sanchez, and my brother Las Vegas back there in the back.
Maria's funny. I saw her last weekend.
Maria's funny? Oh man, that's gonna be good. And the tickets start at $35. Y'all want to get the $50 one or the $95 one so y'all can sit up front. I don't even know if they cost that much, but
They can now.
yeah, we just raised the price.
There you go. There you go. That's
Just
right.
raise the
VIP.
price.
There you go.
So I'm gonna stop talking, allow y'all to get an opportunity to take a picture with this brother, and then we're gonna close things out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That is it for us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Good, that mic.
On this last breath.
Okay about it?
Yeah, yeah. Good. Feel good. Thank you. Thank you.